But I still think that we're talking about the difference between the original decision that women had the right to vote, and then you're talking about like a modern day fix to women being like drafted and everything. So we're kind of talking about two different issues.
No, but okay, this all stemmed from me saying that feminism is not a true equality movement. It only seeks to secure privileges and preferential treatment for women. So do you think that rights come with responsibilities and duties?
Absolutely.
Okay, women were able to secure a right without a corresponding duty.
Corresponding to men, but corresponding to the United States government, we are citizens, we pay taxes, we have a right to speak, and under the Constitution.
Yes, and
so
under the government, I don't know how else to explain this.
It doesn't have to be equal to the
Yes, it does though.
It does.
Yes, it does.
Because we're different.
That's irrelevant.
The equality of the right to vote shouldn't be gender-based.
There's a clause, I don't know if it's in the Constitution or an amendment, but the anti-discrimination, hold on. The anti-discrimination
no taxation without representation
clause in the Constitution.
What time is it?
Trying to find it, hold on. This whole trope, then shouldn't we just make the argument? We could just as easily make the argument that men and women are different, ergo, women should not have the right to vote.
I already agree with you about your prescription.
No, but if your position is that men and women are different, and that you have this, women are, damsels in distress, and they're not capable of providing or assisting in the war effort, then...
At that time in history, that's what happened. So we're either arguing that what happened was wrong, and then therefore you don't agree with the women's right to vote based on how it happened, or you do, and that's the reality of it. The women have the right to vote.
Well, I can't go back and undo history, but
But would you if you could?
No. Again, you keep trying to get me in a gotcha here.
Well, because
I'm in favor of women voting. Okay.
But you don't want them to vote unless they have that same prescription as men.
It's curious to me that women were able to secure a right without the corresponding responsibility.
It could be curious, but that's just what happened. And I think there's still good reasons to have a right to vote, even if you're not part of that. That I pay taxes, I want to be able to vote on how high those taxes are. There's other reasons that you have responsibilities as a citizen to have the right to vote than just
So are
that.
men second-class citizens?
No, they're not.
Well, they absolutely are under this current setup.
They have a different conscription than we do right now.
But there is no corresponding government force there's no civil service for women. There is nothing enforced by the government on women that corresponds to males' duty to register with the selective service and be subject to military conscription. Right,
which is why I agreed with your suggestion to do that. Otherwise, we could also just get rid of it entirely. Obviously, that's just a pacifist view.
But you offered this up in rebuttal to me saying that feminism has never been about equality. It's been about women's advocacy and securing benefits for women. Would you agree that women being able to get the right to vote is a benefit?
I think it's a responsibility. It's a right. It can benefit you or it can't benefit you. It's not necessarily directly a benefit.
Okay, so am I wrong to state that women were able to secure the vote without the corresponding responsibility of being subject to military conscription?
The way that men did, that's a historical fact.
So regardless of whether men and women are different, which I agree with you, we are, you're offering that up in rebuttal to my statement that feminists attempt to secure rights for women without any corresponding responsibility.
That's one example. If you want to, we could talk about other things besides voting. We've spent all this time on voting. Do you have any other examples of things that women are trying to fight for?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Well, I gave you the National Organization of Women example. Feminist organizations will frequently fight when it comes to the family court system. They'll fight for presumed 50-50 custody, for example.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree or disagree with that. I mean, I haven't really looked into that as much, but I don't think that one feminist organization of our modern day is representative of a true feminist movement.
Okay, but again, I said that my view of feminism is not an equality movement because it's always about securing benefits for women.
What do you think is the current modern feminist view? Is that the same thing? You don't think that?
Yes, because here's why. What would be equality? Equalizing military conscription in this country.
So
correct?
That's pretty much your big crux. Like that's what you care about the most. Is the military?
That's
aspect.
a major.
They go to die at war, so it's pretty important.
Absolutely, but do you agree with taking away men from
injustice.
being?
I mean, I'll give you
prescribed to do
more.
that?
I'll give you.
Would you want men not to do that then? Like
Huh?
go to war? Are you a pacifist?
Well, here's the.
Because of course I
War
agree
is bad.
that it's a
War
horrible
is
thing.
bad, but I recognize that no, you can never get rid of the draft because conceivably there could be some scenario on the world stage, some military conflict that would require a draft to occur. So no, and it's not even politically tenable to ever get rid of the draft. Frankly, it will never happen. So we must equalize the draft in the name of equality.
Okay.
Seems like you guys have been
I've already
agreeing
said
this
it.
whole conversation.
Yeah, I've already agreed with that aspect of it. That if that was actually put forth,
but
are
you're-
you putting forth that legislation? Are you working on that right now? Because I would maybe I
I'm
would
a
be.
podcaster.
I
I'm
know,
not
but you're
involved
very
in
passionate.
politics.
I'm saying maybe you should.
I advocate.
Maybe
I
you should.
frequently advocate for men, but the point I was trying to make is that feminism is not an equality movement because
It should
One
be. That's-
sextillion, 111
Thank you for
sextillion,
this
111 quintillion, 111 quadrillion, 111 trillion, 111 billion, 111 million, 111,111 donated $100. My helicopter goes at
I'm just confused because you're trying to fucking
We're just going back at it.
you're literally trying to argue with me.
I'm pretty sure we mostly agree. The reason why I'm feminist is very straightforward and it has nothing to do with that aspect.
I think you're not even like listening to what I'm saying. I have a pretty coherent worldview
And
on
I
this.
agreed with you. And I'm
Then
saying
why
you
are
should
you
put it into
arguing?
legislation. Because you keep bringing back the historical aspect,
But
and you
you're
can't
like-
change history. Like I'm just
No,
acknowledging
but-
that history happened, and I'm giving you a reason why it happened.
Holy fuck. I am saying that feminism has never been an equality movement because if fighting for an equality could conceivably come at the detriment of women, aka being subject to military conscription, feminists will not push for said equality. They will not fight for said equality if the equality does not benefit women. And that's evidenced by the fact that even back in 1920, women secured the right to the vote without a corresponding responsibility of being subject to military
One
conscription,
septillion,
and it's still the case in
111
2024.
sextillion, 111 quintillion,
Jesus, again?
111 quadrillion, 111 trillion, 111 billion, 111 million, 111,111 donated $100.
Jesus Christ.
Deep breath.
Okay, I'll move on. I'm going to read some chats. Thank you. Jay Jorgensen, welcome to 2024. Brian, women pick and choose rights during a challenge. Men cannot. Thanks. Okay.
Which rights are we talking about?
What do you mean? What rights?
We only have talked about the right to vote. We could talk about any
No,
other
we can talk
right.
about, there's a whole bunch. Let me think here. This isn't really something this is more on like a social level, not a government level. But for example, well, I mean, you could actually make the argument that we've outlawed female genital mutilation, but male circumcision is absolutely legal. So I mean, it's not, circumcision is not something that's like enforced by the government, but it is legal under the government to circumcise baby boys. So I think I'm against male genital mutilation.